I don't know about you, but I am a little over clickbaity headlines. So Canva's annual event, Canva Create, happened last week, and there are already so many headlines about how this changes everything. The thing is, it doesn't change everything, but it is a really exciting evolution with huge potential. So today I am going to give you my honest take on what was announced and what I think actually matters for small business owners and creators. So in the keynote, Canva focused on 5 big launches: Canva AI 2.0, Learn Grid, Canva Offline, Print Shop, and then a community wishlist of 41 smaller but really interesting feature updates. The headline announcement, and the one that's getting the most attention understandably, is of course Canva AI 2.0, and it is a really big evolution. Canva has rethought how AI works on the platform. So instead of AI being something you tap into occasionally with different tools, it's now an underlying foundation of everything, so that you can have a back and forth conversation with it while you're designing, and it can be part of that entire process, essentially trying to make it a true design companion, if you want it. When you click on the now very obvious Canva AI icon in the top of the left-hand menu, you have a separate panel that slides out where you can just chat. So rather than clicking through menus to find things or do things, you can just describe what you want, and Canva AI will then attempt to do that for you, right where you are in the editor. Most importantly for me, though, is that anything that it creates is still part of a fully layered Canva design file that you can refine, edit, and use again. According to Canva, it's being tested and rolled out between now and mid-June, by which time everybody should have access to it. And I think it's going to need that time to be refined and tested. The direction it's going in is really significant. What Canva has done is to try and shift from being a design platform with AI features to an AI platform with design tools as the key vehicles for creation. And I think that's a really meaningful change. What I like about this direction is that it's about giving people another way of designing themselves, as well as using the tools that Canva already has. There were 5 main layers to this Canva AI 2.0 launch, and I want to talk you through them because some of them I think matter more than others. So conversational design is obviously the foundation of everything. You describe what you want, Canva takes action and builds it or does it, and you then iterate from there, back and forth, a collaboration with the AI. That's essentially the new model. Then there's memory, and this is the one that I think we need to pay attention to the most, because it's the one that will most directly affect the quality of what you get out of Canva AI. So Canva AI can now scan your existing designs and start building a creative profile of you. So your brand, your colors, your fonts, your typical layouts, most used designs, your style. The more you use it, the more it understands what on-brand looks like and sounds like for you. Now, here's what I found genuinely exciting about all of this, because I think it gets at something important about AI in general. I don't expect AI to be creative. It's just not. What AI is brilliant at is taking loads of information and resources and input, understanding a desired outcome, and then pulling that together into something that's really useful and close to your goal. It's synthesis, not imagination. Now, historically, the problem with most AI-generated design is that it's pulling from everything and nothing. So stock aesthetics, generic layouts across a whole range of inputs, whatever feels vaguely professional. It doesn't know you, it doesn't know your brand, your audience, what you're trying to say. So it gives you something that looks fine and feels like nobody. Or worse, it feels like everybody else, unless you can train it. And this is why I think memory is actually the most interesting thing in this whole announcement. That's a meaningfully different proposition. And it's the direction that has real value for small business owners who want their designs to feel like them and their brand, not like a stock template that somebody else has already used. So think of it like this: if somebody new walked into your business tomorrow and you handed them a well-organized brand guide, a collection of really strong brand templates, clear examples of the kind of work that you create and that you use most, they would be useful on day one. But if you hand them a chaotic folder of random old files and half-finished designs, they would probably spend most of their time trying to work out what you're even about, at least for a while. Canva AI 2.0 works exactly the same way. The quality of what it produces is directly tied to the quality of what it has to learn from. So if your brand style is non-existent, or your projects aren't set up properly, or your templates are just a bit of a mess, the AI is going to reflect that back to you. And that's not a technology problem, it's an input problem. The quality of your templates matter too. If the AI is learning from and using well-designed, properly structured brand templates, it has something genuinely useful to work from, and it can generate on-brand materials quickly and consistently without you having to go through round after round of iterations. And it means that the most useful thing that you can do is to make the most of these new features by getting your brand foundations properly sorted in Canva. Because it's what will make Canva AI 2.0 really useful for you, rather than just generic. Next, Canva also talked about connectors in Canva AI, the ability to link Canva AI directly to tools like Gmail, Google Drive, Slack, Notion, Google Calendar, so that Canva AI can actually pull real information and data from those places and use it to create designs. So things like asking it to build a newsletter from this week's client emails, or turn this Google Doc into a slide deck. It's early days, but I am so excited to explore this more, because with Notion being one of the connectors, this could be incredibly useful for a lot of people. And building on that, scheduling now lets you set Canva AI to run a task automatically at a time of your choosing. So it works for you even when you're not there. And this means that you can have it generate a batch of social posts pulled from your Notion database every Friday morning without you having to lift a finger or remind it or start it. This is a great use for AI, and hopefully a sign that Canva is moving towards really useful automation rather than just trying to shortcut design or create spectacle. And lastly, Canva AI can now do proper research, which means that like any other AI tool, it can now browse the web and pull information directly into whatever you are working on. So if you're building a pitch doc or a presentation or a lead magnet and you need some supporting information or data, you don't have to leave the platform and go and search for it. Canva AI can do that for you and then pull it into your design. This is potentially really exciting stuff. And Canva has announced that, as I said, this is going to be rolling out to all users between now and mid-June. So if you don't have it yet, don't worry, it is coming. Now, obviously, I've been talking here a lot about getting your brand foundations properly sorted in Canva, and so I thought I would take the chance just to mention something I think is very relevant here. As you may know, I have been working on a completely revamped version of my CanvaOS course, and the whole idea behind it is exactly this. Not just how to use Canva's tools, but how to set Canva up properly as the creative operating system for your business. Your brand kit done right, your templates built to actually work for you on an ongoing basis, your workspace organized so that everything is where it should be and easy to draw upon and reference. And honestly, this whole Canva AI 2.0 conversation has made me even more sure that this is the right thing to be building right now with Canva. Because the people who are going to get the most out of these AI features are the ones who've already done the groundwork. So if you want to be the first to know about the early bird pricing for my course and the new bonuses for this launch, then the link is in the description below the video or on the screen right now to join the waitlist. Right, now back to the rest of what Canva announced last week. Now this one didn't get much of a stage moment at Canva Create, but I actually think it's one of the most practically day-to-day useful things in this entire launch. Canva has introduced something called brand components. Essentially, the idea is that you can take a group of already designed elements, a social media links card, or a logo mockup, or a text and graphic layout that you use on every carousel, and save it as a reusable component inside your brand kit. So you can add that new group or component to new designs with just a single click. Now obviously saving things to your brand kit isn't new, but what is new is what happens when you update these components in your brand kit. If you change that source component, the original one, you can have it update everywhere that that component has been used, in one design or across all your designs. And that's not just a time saver, it also means that your brand can genuinely stay consistent across your materials without having to hunt down and update individual designs. There's also a kind of related update to color themes in your brand kit. So you can now set specific color combinations or themes, backgrounds, elements, text, including gradient styles, and you then save those as named themes within your colors. So rather than trying to remember exactly which brand color you used for carousel backgrounds versus the one that you used for supporting text, you set it once and it's always there, ready to apply to anything. And here's where this ties back to AI 2.0. These components and color themes feed directly into what the AI learns about your brand and it has access to. The more precisely your brand kit and your themes reflect your actual visual identity, the better your AI-generated results are going to be. They genuinely work as a whole system. Now this one I'm genuinely excited about because I think it's finally becoming a really useful feature in Canva. So Canva actually launched email design inside the platform last year, and it means that you can design a full, beautifully branded email, drag in buttons and elements and banners and visuals, use all the tools you would normally use, and then you can also preview it on desktop and mobile, and most importantly, export it as clean, ready-to-send HTML email. Plus, there are already loads of beautiful templates to use as a starting point. The problem has been that until now, the number of email providers it connected to were far and few between. But that has now changed with this launch. The HTML export now works properly with more email platforms. Specifically, I am really excited about the fact that Flodesk is one of them, because it means you can now design a beautifully on-brand email in Canva with all your assets there, and then get it into Flodesk, fully formatted, in just a couple of clicks. It's responsive, it's got clickable links and buttons, and all the beautiful formatting you've done. For small business owners that are really focused on email marketing and want their emails to look as good as their social media and the other materials, and they're already comfortable with Canva, this is an update genuinely worth playing with. Canva also announced some really lovely updates to video this year. So 3 things specifically that I think actually make a difference for small business owners and creators. First, there's caption styles that have had a massive update. They're now accessible right in the contextual toolbar at the top of the video editor rather than buried in a menu, and there are a lot more styles to choose from. So you have a much better chance of finding something that feels close to your brand or what you want to use. And the big new addition is that captions work on audio files as well, not just video now. Plus, you now have options for word-by-word highlighting in the captions, which just makes this tool a lot more powerful for social and a lot closer to other tools out there. Next, there are new video building blocks, which is basically a library of pre-built video hooks, text effects, and sound effects designed to be dropped straight into social video. And here's why I think these are such a great addition. Reels and shorts, things like that, have their own visual language. Specific ways of grabbing attention, certain text effects that work, sound design that keeps people engaged. And up until now, recreating those things in Canva can take quite a bit of time and effort. These building blocks give you a plug-and-play version of the patterns that actually work right now, which means you can add them in fully constructed and then just adapt them to your brand and content. And they're a great way for us to also learn so that we can expand our own knowledge of social content creation and what works specifically in those platforms. And then there's the updated photo to video, which now works with faces, and it gives you 5-second videos. Now, I'm not a big fan of AI-generated video, and honestly, what it does to my face is nothing short of terrifying. But creating a moving background, or to add a bit of motion or something like that to static imagery for a reel, this genuinely works really well. There are a few other things that I wanted to mention. So Canva Offline is now a thing, which means you can make designs available to edit without an internet connection. So that means that the changes sync when you're back automatically online when you reconnect. If you ever work anywhere with sketchy reception or you travel a lot, you'll know that this is a long time coming and could be really useful. Image upscaling is also now properly built into the editing tools rather than buried inside apps. So if you've got a lower resolution image that you need just to improve a bit, it's a lot easier to get to this. The results on this can be really hit and miss, but it can just make more images more useful for you, which is always a good thing. The print shop has also had a proper upgrade. There are 40 new products, a live mock-up view so that you can see your design on the product before you actually order, and now you can actually print stuff directly to your home printer from inside Canva without having to download anything first. So if physical print or print-on-demand products are part of your business, this is absolutely worth exploring. Now very quickly, 2 things that got stage time at Canva Create that I think you can probably set aside for now if you're a small business owner. LearnGrid is a whole education platform for teachers and curriculum mapping. And unless you're in that world, it's not really targeted at you. But I do love that it's available to everyone, schools and homeschoolers. And Canva Code 2.0 is also upgraded. Now, it's all about building interactive HTML experiences inside Canva. It's actually a really great tool, and it has even more potential now because it integrates with exports from tools like Claude. But that deserves a whole video of its own, to be honest. Okay, so here is where I kind of land on all of this stuff. Canva Create 2026 is, I think, a genuinely significant launch. The AI direction is the right one. For me, it's moving towards a platform that learns your style, uses your own brand designs and materials as the source, and then generates output that actually feels like you. And I think that that's worth being excited about. The things I'd actually focus on right now, though, start getting your brand kit properly sorted if you haven't already. Your colors, your fonts, a couple of really solid templates. That's the foundation that makes everything else, especially Canva AI 2.0, work better for you. Then go and explore the memories in Canva AI and the brand components, because those alone can save you a lot of time. I would also have a look at the new email design tools if you send regular campaigns. And of course, if you create video regularly, find the caption styles, experiment with those, and then have a look through those video building blocks, because both are absolutely worth incorporating into your workflow. And of course, I will also be doing proper tutorials on a lot of these features over the next few weeks. So please make sure to subscribe to the channel. So lots of exciting updates, but nothing that has to change everything right now about how you work in Canva. You decide how much you want to incorporate, and you can do it at your own pace. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you in the next one.